So one of the big trends we see is you can't focus just on physical or digital solutions. So what we try to do is what we call phygital, which means that we integrate the solutions. You can also see here at the event, we're not only offering cards. Cards is an important part of it, but also the add-on solution, be it for checkout, be it for authentication, for secure payment. So the whole universe. And additionally, we also see a bit of a consolidation. So a better chance of participants that can cover globally. That's the one thing. Then, of course, payment with purpose, which means that our credit cards, although they're really, really beautiful, they are actually made of non-virgin plastic. So we collect with a partner, Parley, plastic from the ocean and produce the card. But that's not enough. Also, we went with our service into the cloud. And we didn't go to the cloud because we find the expression or the phrase fancy, but more because the resources we don't use, somebody else can use. It's not your dedicated hardware that would use electricity. For instance, we have the Black Friday where we need a really, really high performance, whereas maybe other companies don't need it. Certainly, what we should not forget is fraud. Fraud is also a trend unfortunately, an unfortunate trend. And lastly, also the e-commerce, the digitization of the e-commerce. So fraud is the major concern here. Although we see a trend that domestic fraud is managed better, overall, including the overseas fraud in many, many regions here, we see an increase in fraud. Fraud can be done in many ways. You still see a lot of countries here with passwords or one-time passwords. That's the SMS you get. These SMS are insecure by design. You can also, we've seen that some fraudsters have added URLs, hyperlinks to this SMS that lure you on some pages. We have seen scammers that would call you and try to force you to give them the one-time password or passphrase. And then also, thirdly, of course, what we call friendly or family fraud. So somebody's using your device to order something, which ends up in a chargeback because you're not aware of the spending. So these are the most common threats we have. One more thing is, of course, phishing. One of the top things are tokenization. Tokenization, let me explain. Tokenization means a number for a credit card number. It's just another number for a number. So why does this make sense? This number is only accessible, for instance, for one merchant or maybe for a limited time. So even if you manage to get this number, you can only use it in a very, very limited space. And the merchant was already verified by the scheme. Secondly, something like the guest checkout. In the past, we have entered the account number, the credit card number directly with the merchant. With the guest checkout, click to pay, the credit card number stays with the scheme. And you only log into the system, you get presented the different cards you have, you choose one and pay, the merchant will not even see your credit card number. One important news is FIDO, the Fast Identity Online. That's an alliance of the big players like Google, Microsoft, but G&T and etc. is also part of it on a global scale. And this allows us to have a login or a payment confirmation without passwords. So during the registration, we would create two keys, a private and a public key. The public key is shared with a bank or with a payment solution provider, and the private key is on your device and is protected with the biometrics. During the payment, I use my biometrics to unlock this private key and sign the challenge that comes from the issuer. I'm not sending my private key. I'm not sending a password, but with a public key on the other side, the bank can verify if this is authentic. This is the pass key. Increasingly, we also see secure payment confirmation. This means that on the same device you order something, you use your fingerprints to actually confirm the payment. No second device anymore. It happened to me once when I tried it out on a demo. It immediately recognized my face and confirmed before I even noticed. So that's frictionless, but super secure.